Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Be realistic about your skill set with women. Be realistic. What I mean by realistic, you know what? Very often, hold up. Let me use an example. I was about to say something else. Let me use an example. This dude told me back in the day, man, and he was talking about women, right? And he said, yeah, you'll get these women and they'll say, yeah, they're educated, they're smart, they dress well, their hair is nice, they 250 pounds. They can't figure out why men don't want them. Look, here's the thing. I see some guys, I see comments all the time, and the dude think they the bomb, right? They think they the bomb, or they see themselves as a bomb, which in itself ain't a bad thing if it's sincere. But I think a lot of dudes say stuff and they lying to themselves, right? The thing is, they might think they something, but the women that they trying to pull might not consider it the same thing. That's just a reality. It's like, for those who read my book, Nice Guys and Players, they know I talk about this dude named Jim, a real dude who could, and I've told him, and I've mentioned before, he could come on YouTube and he'd blow away probably all the dating coaches. He'd blow them away. Because this dude, I'd be trying to get him to come on. He'd be like, nah, I don't feel like it, right? But I remember he said, if you got it and nobody want it, it means you don't got it, right? See, a lot of dudes be thinking like, okay, like I get a lot of dudes who be like, well, I'm handsome and all of that. Okay. How many women have said that weren't related to you? And then even when they said it, what was their voice tone? Because women, they'll use that term just to be nice. To be honest with you, they will tell you that to be honest. Or you get some dudes, they'll think, well, I know my, my style is great, or, personality is great, right? Like, they'll say they got all of this, but I was like, well, is it attracting a woman? If you talking about it in that thing, right? See, a lot of dudes think they have it, but they don't. Like, I remember, and this was way before YouTube, right? When my book first came out, I was at a book signing, right? And at this bookstore, and I saw this dude. I actually remembered him because he had gotten my book at, like, this expo or something. And he had said all this stuff about, like, oh, yeah, I hit the gym. I'm still not getting the women and everything, right? And I looked at him. I said, okay, he got my book. He said he hit the gym, but his body wasn't different. He had the same body build. And I could look at that. Like, one of the things I don't talk about as much, I was actually certified as a personal trainer back in the 90s. So I've always said it's trouble for me to judge a man's face, but you can look at his body, tell whether or not he worked out. But he thought he was a bum, and I was like, body build looked the same as it did. He didn't look muscular or something. He was very average. But he was thinking, my body's all this, and I don't know why women ain't going crazy. And I even told him, because, Ron can be blunt, blunter than people realize, especially when I'm looking at somebody. And I was just like, well, you don't really look like you've been working out, right? But he thought it. And then there's a lot of guys who do it. In fact, a lot of guys will think they got all of this, or they'll talk about, like, I remember a dude that it was at a wedding of a friend of mine, and he was saying, well, I do this, this, and this, and, a woman who was with me at the wedding was like, she would whisper to me, it's like, well, all that stuff he talking about, women don't really care about, right? So it's like, you got to realize, if you're talking about getting women, you got to realize how do you really impact women? That's the thing, because they the ones who have to, I don't care what you think about yourself, they have to like it. You can love it. In fact, I advise that you love everything about yourself. In fact, I advise that you focus on yourself. But you don't know how that's going to come across to a woman. You know, if you're good on your job or anything, they might not be able to tell. I'm going to tell you something now with me. Even with myself, a woman, I've had women tell me there's something that they liked about me, and I didn't even think about it because you don't know what they looking like, you know? And then somebody else might like the very thing, but another woman isn't. I never forget this woman, you know, I'm thinking she's like, you know, my body's tight and, you know, had the education, had all this stuff going, and she was talking about some stuff I didn't even think about. She was looking at something else totally. And I'll never forget, she kind of half-jokingly didn't think much of my looks. So I was just like, okay. See, it's cool that, you know, you feel good about yourself, realistic. If you really feel good, a lot of people fake like they feel good about themselves and don't. And you should, you should, but you don't know how that's impacting a woman or what she's looking for, right? Or if you having trouble, you don't know. It could be something you ain't thinking about, right? I remember somebody hit me up privately and they said something about body language and stuff. They were like, yeah, my body language. And, you know, I kind of hit them back. I said, well, how do you know how somebody else reads your body language? Everybody will think they got something, but somebody else sees something else. You know, and see, that's another thing, too. One thing that women especially get turned on by a man about is the vibe he gives off. That's very important. Seriously, I've talked about that before, but the vibe. And if you like, women will look at you and they'll look at the picture and they'll talk about how they felt. You don't know what energy you give off to them, right? You really don't. No matter how good you think it might be, they might find something else, you know? Now, this is why I always tell guys, you know, if you can find a woman who's going to be honest with her, talk to her. See what she see. Now, this ain't saying just run and go change it, but at least you know? Because here's the thing. Like I said, you still got to feel good about yourself. If you got an idea that the women you chasing, they ain't feeling you on a certain level, that's why you focus on the women who do feel what you're presenting. But see, a lot of guys don't do that. They want, you know, whatever, you know, they want a certain type of woman, not realizing that some women who just as attractive probably got a better body, probably got better sex, are feeling that, right? And then just get an idea what they seeing when they see you. I mean, you could be highly intelligent, but you don't come off that way. You know, you might not, that vibe, you might not give that vibe. You know, you might have that nervousness that they picking up on or something, you know? Seriously. And that's that's key. That is key. Just be realistic about your skill set, okay? And then you'll know what you need to work on. Now, I know it's tough. I know it's tough. That's why I say if you can, the best thing is find a woman who's going to be honest with you. Not your mom. You always everything to mom. Not cousins. If you can find, in fact, sometimes pay attention when you get rejected, right? That tells you more than a friendly woman. Because a tough rejection, a woman will pretty much tell you. She'll let you know. Shoot. I've been rejected in the past. I told you, I've been through some stuff. Been rejected. I'd be thanking the women. They'd be messing their head up. I say, you saying thank you? Say, yeah, I know what I'm projecting now. You know? Some stuff I might say, okay, I need to work on. Other stuff say, well, shit, they just got to live with it. Depends on the situation. All right? But then you know. All right? So anyway, but whatever the case, you just got to be realistic about what you need to work on. Realistic about what your real skill set is, all right? So anyway, that's all I got for now, y'all. As always, I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.